Bow down before my psycho power.
Basically, I'm just Joe Budden TK. And I'm not obviously the real Joe Budden, because if you just look up Joe Budden, you're gonna find a washed rapper that used to have good podcasts. I'm not that guy. If you just look up Joe Budden TK, then you're gonna find me on Twitch and you're gonna find the YouTube and you're gonna find the Twitter. Yeah, the DLC is a great question because I rant about the DLC a lot. Obviously, the DLC in Tekken 7 was really good. They kind of made Negan work, even though it seemed like he shouldn't be in fucking Tekken. And another like kind of hot take I have about the DLC, and to be honest, I don't even think it's really a hot take unless you like are kind of like a dumbass. But I feel like Akuma really saved Tekken 7. If they didn't have Akuma in Tekken 7, I feel like Tekken 7 would have probably been in trouble. And I think the allure of also why Akuma was such a good thing in 7 is because it added like a Street Fighter versus Tekken element to the game. And it made watching tournaments a lot more interesting. And the other thing too is I know a lot of people are having a heart attack me saying that shit because they're like, oh, Akuma ruined Tekken. He's too bullshit. But the one thing that a lot of you guys don't understand about Akuma is that he was actually a hard character to play. But in terms of the other DLC, I mean, I wasn't around in Tekken 7 for a majority of its lifespan. So like by the time I started playing Tekken 7, like all the DLC and stuff had already been released. In terms of Tekken 8, for one, I think Clive was like one of the worst fucking decisions they could have ever done. Namco, for some reason, has like a hard on with like doing Final Fantasy people favors. Like, I don't know why the fuck Harada or whoever made that negotiation wanted to do Final Fantasy a favor by adding Clive into this game because nobody gives a fuck about Clive. The only benefit adding Clive into this game is getting more people to play Final Fantasy. It's not the other way around. Like, we should be having guest characters where people are going to want to play our game. Adding Clive just made more people want to play Final Fantasy than people want to play Tekken. And the reason why I also say that is because we already had fucking Noctis. And I know a lot of people still want Tifa in this game, but they need to stop adding Final Fantasy into this game. We've already like scraped the fucking bottom of the barrel of adding anything Final Fantasy into this game. I'm pretty sure everyone that has played Final Fantasy knows about Tekken and has probably tried this shit. We're adding something like Tifa. All it's gonna do is make the player base jump the first day like a million players, and everyone's gonna fucking jerk off to Tifa in a bikini outfit, and then they're gonna uninstall this game. Now it's too late to add Tifa, and they need to stop with the Final Fantasy shit. They need to add, and I know they've said this where they wanted to add like Deadpool or something. And the reason also why like I'm not gonna say I hate Namco, but it's kind of annoying is because I could tell Namco is really cheap. And that's probably why they added fucking Clive and they didn't add someone like Tifa or someone that people would actually give a fuck about. Where it felt like they used like a shoestring fucking budget to add a guest character. And that's why we got Clive instead of like the 1,000 other Final Fantasy characters that are actually like cool. I think if they added a Marvel character, that would immediately bring a lot of people to want to try this game. And that would be a perfect way of getting people that wouldn't want to play Tekken to actually try it. Because that should be the point of the guest character. Like, because a lot of people say Baki and stuff, but I feel like there's too much crossover between Baki fans and Tekken fans. And also, if they wanted to add Baki, they should have added Baki before adding Fakuran. Because it's like adding the same character twice. If Namco wants to be cheap and they don't want to spend a lot of money on a guest character, because when they say they're gonna add like John Wick and like Deadpool, I don't really believe them. I don't think Namco has the money, or they do have the money and they're too stingy and cheap to add something like a Marvel character into fucking Tekken. Because obviously, in a perfect world, adding fucking like Doctor Doom, especially with the new movie coming out, would make a lot of fucking noise and get people to want to play this game. But there's probably no way in hell that they would have the budget to pay for fucking Doctor Doom. And I don't even think there's any way in hell that they would have the budget to pay for even Deadpool. But that's why what I say is that if Namco wants to be cheap, and since they own all the fucking anime IPs, what they should do is just add fucking Goku. And I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me, but I think Goku is like the most safest, surefire way to add a fucking character that Namco already owns the IP for to get the most amount of people to want to try this game or play it. And the last thing I'll say with DLC, they need to stop adding fucking DLC that was already in 7. One of the things that pisses me off is that since I only played 7 and I didn't get to play Tekken 8, I never got to play a game with Bruce in it. Or I never got to play a game with like Ogre or any of these characters that a lot of people have been complaining about and asking for in this game since even 7. Like even when I played 7, people would always talk about fucking Bruce. And they would always comment and shit and say, we want Bruce in this game. So I don't know why the fuck Michael Murray wants to say all that dumbass shit about fucking Bruce, saying he's like a GTA character. And also too, it's funny that he says that shit where he says like Bruce is like a GTA character, but then he'll still go on avoiding Eris's stream, avoiding the puddle, and we'll still try to like ask him fucking advice. When even Eris has said too that they should add Bruce into this game. Because I just know that like Michael Murray still cares about what Eris thinks, but for some reason like he still doesn't listen to Eris. But regardless, that they should be adding fucking characters in like that weren't in Tekken 7 into Tekken 8 as DLC. Like, I always wanted to play a Tekken game with Bruce in it. I want to see what the fucking hype is around Bruce and why everybody wants him. And same with Ogre, and same with a lot of older characters from like games before 7. Like, even something like JC. I know a lot of people said they should add Julia, and I think they ruined Julia in 7, where like it's kind of like it left a bad taste in my mouth and a lot of people's mouths the way Tekken 7 Julia was. But if they added JC instead of Julia, because I know JC is like supposed to be Julia, but in like a wrestling mask, that would be a fresh way of bringing Julia back, and also do what I'm saying, where they add a character that technically wasn't in 7 into 8, so people that only played 7 and 8 will be able to experience like playing like a character that was in an OG game. And that's why I think adding June, even though she's not DLC, was a good idea, because June is such an old fucking legacy character that if you probably asked like your grandpa if he ever like jerked off to June when he was like 12, he would probably tell you yeah, because that's how fucking old June is. And adding a character that's that fucking legacy and old into a newer game is kind of cool, because you get to experience like playing a character or fighting a character that was in like Tekken 1 or Tekken 2, instead of like playing a character that was recently in the last fucking Tekken game. Because a lot of people that play Tekken 8 probably played 7. So that's what they should do with DLC. Because it also makes the DLC boring when you already know it's just going to be a character that was already in 7. That's why a lot of the DLC announcements have not even been hype, except like Armor King and Heihachi. Like, and I remember when they gave Claudio the 2-1-2 tailspin, even I felt like that was probably too much. And then they just started giving the tailspin to every fucking character. They probably shouldn't have heat burst in a combo, because also heat burst takes time too, because it like freezes the screen and it takes an extra like 3 seconds. There's characters that would have weaknesses, but they keep trying to patch out weaknesses by giving every single character the same tools. And that's also what makes this game a lot more boring to play. Is now like it used to be only Claudio with a fucking install, but now everybody and their grandmother has a fucking install. And same with like guard breaks, demon paw type moves. And when something's really broken and one character has it, for some reason they want to start giving it to everybody else. And that's their way of trying to balance this shit. But at the end of the day, stuff like install, tailspin, all these things are kind of cool mechanics. It's just they're not fucking balancing it correctly. But obviously, a lot of people don't have faith in them doing it correctly. So that's why they just say fuck it and just remove installs, heat bursts, like basically all the new shit they had. They're just saying fuck it and just to remove it, because nobody has faith that they can actually change it to make it in a way that's actually balanced. Well, it's funny you call me a pro player. It is kind of funny calling me a pro player, because technically I'm not sponsored. But I know it gets a lot of people mad in the comments calling me a pro player. But to be honest, there's some people that are pros that I'm better than. But regardless, being a pro is not really about skill. It's just about if you have a sponsor or not. But I still like that you call me a pro player, though. I appreciate you for having me on. I know you really like my stream, Moonsault Slayer, and it's pretty funny. So I don't really blame you. But also, I just hope I don't get you canceled or anything. And there's not anything. Make sure you go through this video again if there's anything I say that is going to get fucking flagged by YouTube, so I don't give you like a copyright strike or something.